Right, hello everybody and welcome to another Train Sim World 2 video. Today we shall be continuing our look at the Bakerloo Line and we shall be doing the second of 6 scenarios. So I'm just going to boot up the Bakerloo Line now. Welcome to Queen's Park Station. This is a northbound service. This service travels to Harrow and Wealdstone and then terminates at Queen's Park. Right, so the first thing we need to do is open up the door, so I'll press left on the Xbox 360 controlled D-pad to open the doors. I'm also going to turn the lights on for the passengers. So I need to trip and set. Just need to open up the doors and make sure that the lights are on. Indeed they are. Just have to move out actually. So the lights are back on so I can sit back down. I also need to turn the headlights on. In fact they were on before. There we go. Instrument lights are on as well. So I can now close the door, so I'll press left again on the D-pad. And we can now depart for Harrow and Wealdstone. Starting speed limit is 10 miles an hour. Our next station stop will be Kensal Green. It's also raining It's also raining at the moment, so we'll just have to be careful with how we accelerate and how we brake, as there is wheel slip and wheel slide, I believe. Uniquely, the Bakerloo Line is the only line on the Underground to give passengers a ride through a train shed in normal service. In a moment the speed limit will increase to 45 miles an hour. Now accelerate up to 45. Now I'm going to start slowing down for Kensal Green. And open up the doors on the left. Next station stop is at Wealdstone Junction. Just going to cut the power as we are approaching a 30-mile-an-hour speed restriction. On the left is Wealdstone Depot. We're just about to pass up beneath the North London line, which also stops at Wealdstone Junction. Do we need to open the doors on the right this time? Speed limit is now about to jump up to 45 once again. Next station stop is at Halston. shot where we can see the monitors. And there's one of the numerous bugs with passengers jumping up through the roof of the train. So we can now lock the doors. Next station stop is at Stonebridge Park. Here we are at Stonebridge Park. Next station stop is at Wembley Central. To our right is Stonebridge Park Depot, one of two main depots on the Bakerloo Line. The other is at London Road. Knocking the speed of a train down to 40 miles an hour. We now pass beneath the West Coast Main Line, which the Bakerloo parallels between Queen's Park and Harrow. If you're wondering why I haven't put the wipers on, it's because I'm not getting any of the rain effects on the windscreen. and I think that's to do with my graphics settings. I am running this on medium graphics. And we completely overshot there. So, but I'm not going to step back, I'm just going to open up the doors. Should have slowed down a little bit earlier there. So the next station stop is at North Wembley. Speed limit has jumped back up to 45. There we go. That was better. Currently running about a minute late. Next station stop is at South Kenton. So here we are at South Kenton. one of the few stations on the underground that doesn't have a ticket barrier. Notch 3 is the fastest notch that we have. Or parallel. And we've just overshot the monitors there. I think in the event if the driver just slightly overshoots, I can just look out the window, I think. So we can now lock the doors. Next stop is at Harrow Wealdstone. And apparently only just now the rain effects have just started to work, so I think that might be another bug with Train Sim World 2. Mind you, I think that sometimes has a tendency to I've noticed, I think that has a tendency to happen on Train Sim Classic as well. I think it must depend on how heavy the rain is. It does feel that there should be like a fourth, not an additional notch of power on the 72 stock. and here at Harrow Wealdstone. And whilst there is a red signal in front of us, we do have the calling on indication, which means we can continue into the centre reversing siding. Tracks that continue beyond Harrow Wealdstone head towards Watford Junction, which is where London Overground services terminate. The Bakerloo Line used to go to Watford Junction as well. However, I think that was withdrawn in around about 1987. I'm already speeding there. So just knock the speed of a train down. 10 miles an hour into the siding. Interestingly, the centre rail still remains in place for quite a distance down the line. Towards Watford. I think there have been aspirations to bring the Bakerloo Line back to Watford Junction, but they've never materialised. Right, so we now need to shut down the train, so I'll just turn the wipers off, turn the lights off, and then we need to put the traction brake control into the shutdown position. And we need to put the directions switch to off and take it out with the mouse. There we go. And we need to remove the control switch. If we can get the right camera angle for it. There we go. If the game will let me, it's been a bit finicky. There we go. Okay, so we can change cab ends now. And we've still got some passengers on board, so you obviously weren't told to move, so we can. What the driver does normally is for the driver would actually walk through the train using it through all the doors, but because we've got some passengers in that blocking our way, what I'll have to do is get out and run down to the other end of the train. Just hope we haven't got any passengers blocking the cab door at the front. So that's a bit of a pain in the bum. This is why I'm not really particularly fussed about having passengers in Train Simulator. I mean, it's all right from a visual standpoint, but if they start to get in your way of start getting in the way of things, there we go. So anyway, let's get back into this cab. So it's just and what I actually forgot to do when we first started was actually set the destination line, so I might as well set that now because that's something we can do without having needing the control key for. So we need to sit down again. There we go. And we need to put the control switch back in. There we go. So now we need to put the direction switch back in. to enter, and then we need to put the traction brake into off and release. And from here we need to run back to Queen's Park, calling at all stations. So just brought up the tab menu there. So, and we are rolling forward. There we go, that's gone off. So check that all my doors are actually closed, that might help. That's probably why we weren't taking power. And my lights aren't on again. So this is going swimmingly at the moment. There we go. For some reason now my lights aren't turning on. There we go. Always helps if you press the right button. Right, put that into forwards. And we've got the calling on indication, so that means we can head back into Harrow Wealdstone. And I'm still not taking power. There we go. Before I had to close the doors then. Yeah, but this is totally different from Train Sim 2020. And here we are at Harrow Wealdstone once again, which is a station I've been through myself a fair few times on the West Coast Main Line on various trips to London, and physically I've only ever been in the station once, and that was when I went to do a full run on the Bakerloo Line down to Elephant and Castle. You have to watch yourself when you're stepping down into the Bakerloo Line trains, because the step down is quite big. Platforms were built to what they call the compromise height, so that the step up to the mainline stock and the step down to the tube stock isn't too excessive. That said, Harrow Wealdstone does have quite a big step down. You have to watch your head as you get yourself into the tube car. So our next station stop is at Kenton, and the speed limit is currently 45 miles an hour. If you're wondering why there isn't any trains on the West Coast Main Line, it's because Dovetail Games haven't gone the extra mile to model some AI stock for the route, which is a shame really, because it would make things look a little bit less barren. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll just open up the doors again. One thing I have noticed, and what I do like about the 72 stock on this route, is that when the trains go over a gap in the traction rail, the lights in the saloons will flicker on and off. I don't think that was a big enough gap there. The camera is definitely radically different to how it was in Train Sim 2020. We just passed under the Metropolitan and Chiltern lines there. And I've overshot the monitors there again. Doesn't help that the stopping marks, like at some of the stations I've noticed, the stopping marks don't seem to be in the right place. What I've also noticed is that we are getting a tick of the camshaft straight after the doors close, but in reality the camshaft starts ticking when once the driver starts to apply power. Yeah, that'll do. So here we are at North Wembley. Next stop will be at Wembley Central. Currently running about 4 minutes down. That was because we had problems setting off from reversing at Wealdstone. So next station stop is at Stonebridge Park. In a moment the speed will be dropping down to 40 miles an hour. And we're on quite a sharp downward gradient, so we need to watch the train's speed. As we get ready to pass beneath the West Coast Main Line once again. Just going to cut power, let the train coast. Going to step 1. Can now accelerate back up to 45. So we are back at Stonebridge Park, and just like the last video, the instruction is only the instruction graphic is only half faded in there. Next station stop is at Halston. I think the monitors need pushing back on that side a little bit there. There's not enough room for, I don't think there's enough room there. That was just enough clearance there. Anyway, next stop is at Wealdstone Junction. Just thought I'd switch to the external view there just to give you a better impression of the external sounds. Next stop is at Kensal Green, which will be the last intermediate stop before we finish our run at Queen's Park. And here we are back at Kensal Green. And the next and final stop of this scenario will be Queen's Park. Just going to start breaking down as we are approaching a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm actually going to drop it down to 10 as I think we're going back through the shed again. I think the speed limit's incorrect there. It's saying we can do 30. Oh no, sorry. No, that should be right, I think. Oh, I think it should be 10 miles an hour through the shed, not 15. And here we are at Queen's Park. So I'll just see and wait and see what the game wants us to do. Okay, thank you for completing this run. Let's see how you performed. Well, I know for one thing we were running quite late, so I think we sped a couple of times as well. Got an achievement, which is again something I'm really not fussed about the achievements or the scoring things. To be honest, I'm more keen on just a simulation of a train. And to be honest, I don't think I really enjoyed that. I mean, most scenarios I do enjoy, but I don't think I enjoyed this one too much. I don't think it helped with the barrenness of the West Coast Main Line, and I really didn't. And the passengers also got in my way when we were trying to change ends at Harrow Wealdstone, so that didn't help either. But apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. I've enjoyed making the video. It's been something different, but I just didn't really enjoy the scenario. But apart from that, I hope you have enjoyed watching the video. And all being well, I shall see you next time with another train. I think I might do Train Sim 2020 next video, or I might come back and do Train Sim World 2. So we'll see what happens. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and take care.